Good morning, everyone. My name is Amy Gill, your pharmacist that cares. So, as much as I hate to say it, it's starting to get a little cooler outside. You know, I love the summer. If you saw my post yesterday, I'm trying to soak up every minute by the pool and every minute of these still sunshiny days. But we know the mornings are a little cooler, the evenings are a little cooler. So, fall and winter are coming. So, what comes along with that? Coughs and colds come along with that, and so many other things. So, I just want to take a few minutes today to talk to you about over the counter medications and maybe when it's time to go up to the pharmacy to ask questions, and maybe when you can do it on your own. I'm actually going to be working this weekend, so if you're in the Shelbyville area, come see me. And I know that I will be bombarded with questions because as the weather changes, people's allergies are kicking up, coughs and colds, as school has started in full swing now. So people are really looking for those answers and what can they take over the counter. Now, if you are a relatively healthy person and you're not on any medications, you're probably pretty safe reading the boxes, figuring out your symptoms, and going from there. If there's a pharmacist there and it's open, just take the time. We love to do that. I love getting out of what we call the box and coming out there and talking to you. No, you're not a bother. We love it. Trust me, it gives us a total change of scenery to come out of there and actually help you find what you are looking for. So, those are for your healthy average adults, and even teenagers that are more like 15, 16. Those are easy things you can do, but I'm talking more the younger children or the adults that are on lots of medications. You do really have to be careful with the over-the-counter medications. Just because they're over the counter doesn't mean they're for everybody and doesn't mean they are perfectly safe for everybody. The last few weeks I have talked about vitamins, and we have talked about the difference with water-soluble vitamins and fat-soluble vitamins, and how you really can get too much of the fat soluble vitamins. So you need to be careful with those vitamins A, D, E, and K. And we've talked about that because you think, okay, they're over the counter. I can just get whatever I want. No, not as much. But as cough and cold season comes up, it's a whole nother beast, especially with people that are on blood pressure medications. You really need to be careful about those things you are choosing. So many other medications are affected by cough and cold things as well. If you're on seizure medications, all kinds of things can really affect if you add something else to your system. And like I said, just because you can get them over the counter does not mean they're safe for everyone. Most of the, well, not most, but yeah, a good majority of the antihistamines, the medications for your acid reflux, those used to be prescriptions. And not too long ago, I remember when those were prescriptions. And I remember when the insurance companies lobbied and those became over the counter and they were readily available to everyone. And that kind of went both ways with people. Some people were excited because they didn't have to go get a prescription. Other people were mad because their insurance no longer paid for those medications and now they had to pay for them on their own. A question I get a lot, especially with the acid reflux, they'll come up and bring me, these things. I said, why does it say to only take it for 7 to 14 days without consulting your doctor or pharmacist? Why? Because you don't want to be just self-medicating and covering up a problem that you might need to be seen for. And that's exactly the reason why you do need to have the conversations. If it's not just an occasional Tylenol or ibuprofen you're taking once in a while, you really do need to be careful about taking those things on a long-term basis without consulting your physician. Super, super important. If it's occasionally here and there because of what you're eating, or maybe a stressful situation you're going through and you're noticing that acid reflux a little bit more, a couple days, even a week isn't a big deal. But if it's something that's going to be ongoing, please do stop by the pharmacy, talk to the pharmacist, ask those questions. We're right there. We are very easy to get to. You don't have to call the office and make an appointment. We are right there. So please take that time to come to the pharmacist that is there. Ask those questions. That's exactly what we love to do. That's why I've always wanted to be a retail pharmacist. I didn't want to be stuck in a basement somewhere, only seeing a couple of people. I wanted to be out there and being able to talk to everyone and to really make a difference. I love people. Big surprise, right? I like to talk, but that is exactly why I want to do it. And that is why we as retail pharmacists want to help you answer those questions and kind of figure out what you need, especially when it comes to the cough and cold. You guys, there are so many different formulas, and you've got to really be careful about overlapping things. Some things you can take together, Some things you cannot. Like I said, not even if you still are on no other medications, you still don't want to get too much of something or something you don't need. And there are side effects that go along with those. So we need to chat about those or the right time of day to take them, or maybe what you've tried in the past. But it really is important that we have those conversations because those things are going to be flying off the shelf as everybody's starting to have runny noses, stuffy noses, coughs, all those things. And they are good things to have on hand when you need them. But even if you're not sick right now and you're like, yeah, it's kind of that time of year, it's time to replenish what I've got at home, take the few minutes, stop by the pharmacy, grab the pharmacist and say, okay, this is what we've experienced before. What would be the best thing for me just to have at home in case some symptoms come on for anybody in my family? The little ones, we always need to chat about that. And it's not just about their age, it's about their weight as well, because that can really vary. And if you notice, especially on Tylenol, if you're going to flip that over, or on ibuprofen, those are based on age and weight, because kids are different sizes. It's not a one size fits all. So we do need to have those conversations. Make sure you get the proper things for dispensing for your children. Most pharmacies have the little syringes readily available. Those are so easy, very accurate, a little bit better than the cups. And if you do the syringes, the kids are more likely to take them. They can either do them themselves, which makes them feel like they feel old and in control. And I've always liked doing that. Another thing we want to talk about, especially with children's medications, are the dyes that are in there. I prefer the dye-free ones. Number one, if they do seem to spit it back out at you, you're not going to have red or purple or something everywhere. But a lot of those dyes, they're just extra fillers that we don't need, the child doesn't need. A lot of those colorings can cause other issues, especially if they're on certain medications. So I always opt for the dye-free when it comes to that. And with a child, honestly, it is about taste. Now Liam, he swallows pills, he's fine. Alex is still about the taste of it. And honestly, he wants it to be clear. No matter what, he prefers it to be dye-free. It's kind of it fools your in your head, right? What it's going to taste like if it is clear that it's going to taste different. So really have those conversations with your kids, because having them take medications can be a struggle. So let's just make it easier on you as a parent and the child, because when that time comes, and it's going to come, like I said, fall and winter are here. We know they're going to need something. Let's make that process less stressful for everyone, because we want to get them healthy. Now, let's talk about staying healthy and not even needing those over-the-counter medications. I was having a chat just with Alex the other day about it, about washing your hands. Be vigilant with washing your hands. I don't care what time of the year it is. You're touching all kinds of things, especially with sports, right? His hands come out of the glove and blocker. They smell bad. We know that there's stuff inside those. It is not good. So the first thing he needs to do is to wash his hands and keep his hands off his face. We all need to do that. Keep your hands off your face. Keep your hands away from your eyes. Even if they're clean, unless you have to, like I said, it is important not to. Not just for the germs you're going to pass, but also acne, which of course that's another thing that you're going to do with all these contaminants you're going to have on your hand. People sit there and rest their hand. What's going to happen? You're going to start noticing this with their phones. Keep your phones clean. If you're somebody that's on Bluetooth, great. You're not having it up against your face. But if you are, think of all the germs that are on that phone constantly. The boys are really good about when they take out the trash and recycling, they come in immediately and wash their hands. Think about that. When they come pick up the trash, which they did, picked up my recycling and my trash this morning, their hands aren't clean. They're wearing those gloves that they wear for every other trash can. Guys, just be thinking about those things and ways that we can keep ourselves healthy. Think of the vitamins, think of the healthy choices, the greens, all these things that you can get in your system to keep you healthy, to hopefully not have to worry about taking those medications. It is so much easier to prevent than to try to play catch up and deal with somebody that's not feeling well. And I don't know about you, but I don't have time to be sick. There is no time when you're running around as a parent trying to do so many different things. You don't have time for it. And it's not fun. Nobody wants to feel run down. So let's have a conversation now about what we can do to boost your immune system, the healthy choices, which I talk about every week: sleep, exercise, eating right, all those things. Stay away from the boxed foods. Let's start working on those things now before we get in the full, everything's coming out, all the bugs are out. Let's start working on it now in early September, so we don't have to worry about it. We can keep our family healthy. All these little tips are so important. I know they seem trivial. You're like, oh, I know that. I know you know that, but are you doing that? Just because we know it doesn't mean we life becomes busy. We're rushing around. I know how it is. It's easier to grab a candy bar than wash a piece of fruit off. I get it. I had somebody talking about the other day. They're like, fruit's so expensive. Okay, but so is a candy bar. Have you ever stood in line at the grocery store and paid attention what candy bars are now? Oh my goodness, it really. So no, I think you could buy a bunch of bananas and spend less than you can on a candy bar. So let's think about it. And not only the monetary cost of it, but let's look at the cost of it on your health. So if you are just eating the nasty processed stuff constantly because it's more convenient or it's cheaper, guess what? You're going to pay for it in the long run. You're going to pay for it with your health, and you're going to pay for it at the pharmacy because you're going to be sick because you're not taking care of your health and wellness. So I would suggest that you maybe, fork out just a few extra dollars to do the healthy things now because you will be better off in the long run. It is so important. So let's really not put this off. Let's have a conversation so we don't even need to worry about those over the counter medications. But no, in all seriousness, if you are going to come and shop at the over the counter, please just take those few minutes, stop by the pharmacy, just have that conversation. We really, no matter how busy you think we are, we always have the time to stop and help you answer those questions. My name is Amy Gill, your